Hey beer tubers, Ryan back with another episode of San Diego Beer Vlog. Thanks for joining me once again. Today I'm going to take a look at a beer from Firestone Brewing Company up in the middle part of California. It's been a while since I've reviewed anything from Firestone Walker other than Parabola. So looking forward to finally reviewing this one for you guys. This is their double barrel ale, aka DBA. This is one of the beers that got me into kind of American craft beers like quite a bit. For some reason when I started out drinking beer, I was just on a huge British kick. Did a little bit of German beers. And then one day just this bottle looked good. It was a double barrel ale, 5%, kind of English style beer. Didn't really know much about it, but I figured, hey, let's give it a shot, and I really enjoyed it. So get this thing cracked. As their winner of the 2010 World Beer Cup mid-size brewery, using the Firestone Walker Double Barrel Ale. Pint glass, which I've had for a while. Normally I wouldn't use a pint glass, but since I have the pint glass for this beer, I figure let's give this one a shot. Okay, so what do we have here? We just have a nice kind of amber dark golden ale. Decent amount of carbonation, 2 fingers of kind of like an off-white head. Let's get the aroma on it. Smells really nice. Light bit of hops on there, like a floral, kind of slightly citrusy. Maybe they're using East Kent Goldings on this. It's like a very traditional British style ale, ESB really, at 5%. Then you get some nice malts in there. You get a little bit of caramel malt, some toasty malt notes. Slight bit of maybe an oakiness. The cool thing about this beer is how they brew it. There's a video on YouTube showing how they do it. They actually ferment this in barrels and they age it in barrels. Hence the double barrel part of it. And it's a really complex beer for 5% to ferment and age in barrels. It's really complicated. The lengths to go to brew this beer is pretty amazing. But it is, I believe, their flagship beer. So I can't wait to dig in. Cheers. Oh yeah, man, that is one fantastic beer. I mean, 5%. You get some hops in there, you get some malt. It's really well balanced. Leaves a nice finish on it. It's fairly complex, you know, for a 5% beer. Yet it's very highly drinkable. It's one of my favorite session beers, if not my favorite session beer I've ever had. Up front, I get some of the malt characteristics, slight caramel notes, toastiness, breadiness, biscuit, all those nice flavors working together. I don't know if they're using Maris Otter, but Maris Otter definitely has this kind of malt characteristic. A little bit of crystal malts in there. So there's also a bit of like a toffee kind of character to it as well. Treacle, I guess you'd say if you're over in the UK. And then there's a little bit of fruit esters, kind of gives a little fruitiness to the beer. It's not overwhelmingly fruity, but you get like hints of like whiter fruits like pear, apple, kind of the notes you get on typical British ESBs. They're not quite as big on this beer. This beer has more malt to it, but those notes are definitely there. And at the end you get some hoppiness. You get a little bit of bitterness on the back of the tongue. Kind of helps dry things out, keep it from going too sweet. Sort of that floral, earthy kind of notes, but then there's this weird kind of taste in the back, and I don't want to say weird as in a bad way, but it's those barrels, they do show up. You do get a slight bit of oakiness, very tiny bit of vanilla in the back, just enough to let you know that yes, this beer has been fermented in a barrel, not in a stainless steel tank. And I think that's what really gives it its nice characters, is the finish with the hoppiness and the malts kind of all coming together with that kind of oak character. And it's kind of like what you'd expect a beer to taste like back in the old days in the UK when everything was done in barrels before stainless and copper came around to age beers in. And can't say enough about this beer. This is an A beer for me. This is, I think, an excellent session beer. Like I said, probably my favorite session ale. I think it's got good malt character, good balance. The fresher you get it, the more hop character you're going to get there, like that slight citrus, earthy kind of floral notes to it. If you can get this on draft, of course it's probably going to be fresher. It's going to be much better than the bottle. And it's just such a smooth, easy drinking beer. So I'm going to give an A to Firestone Walker's Double Barrel Ale. Check it out if you want like a traditional British ESB bitter, but done in American style. And at 5%, one of the better American session beers out there. So that's going to wrap it up for this review. Until next time, please comment, subscribe. Cheers.